When American Idol burst onto American television screens in 2002, the show had two hosts. Some don't remember that. There was Ryan Seacrest, of course, but there was this guy, Brian Dunkleman. Dunkleman did not come back for season 2. Did he quit? Was he fired? Did Seacrest force him out? Whatever the reason, Dunkleman missed out on a chance to make millions. Seacrest certainly did. We recently traveled to Los Angeles to catch up with Brian Dunkleman, who for years was tormented by what might have been.
The winner of American Idol 2002 is Kelly Clarkson.
September 4th, 2002, 23 million people watched the season 1 finale of American Idol. Brian Dunkleman was just 30. He would reach more people that night than he would in his entire career.
Congratulations, America. You made this happen. You have found your idol.
American Idol was on the brink of making television history, but Brian Dunkleman would not return for season 2.
I don't dwell on what my life could be, because if I do, it's too much. It's too much.
Dunkleman has come full circle, back to where it all began, the Improv Comedy Club in Hollywood.
He used to be the host of American Idol, now he's not. Put your hands together for Brian Dunkleman.
If my life were a movie, I might have walked out by now. And this was the first place I was ever on stage in LA.
It's where producers first took notice of the kid from Buffalo. One of them urged him to audition for Idol.
I went in and literally auditioned 3 times in 2 days and was on set the following day.
He beat out 3,000 people who wanted that job.
Somebody kind of whispered to me, said, get ready for your life to change.
In the final audition, he was paired with Ryan Seacrest.
We met that morning, we had breakfast, and then we came and we tested together, and it went well, and literally that was it. The next day we were working together. We did get along really well right away, and then...
The show was becoming a hit. Dunkleman was getting huge exposure, but he was dissatisfied with his role.
I knew I was unhappy. I was unhappy because I cared comedically what people thought of me.
And he struggled over how contestants were treated.
And as the talent in the audition room got worse, Simon's comments got nastier.
When you entered this competition, did you really believe that you could become what you're standing on now, the American Idol?
Yes, sir.
Well, then you're deaf.
Emotionally, it was really difficult for me. Probably more so for me and Paula because we've been those kids, you know. We've been in that situation. We know how hard it is.
And there was growing tension between him and Seacrest.
I wish I could go back and I wish we could have gotten along great. But there was a point where we just drifted apart and then it was, you know, we were kind of antagonizing each other.
And Dunkleman worried if he continued on the show, he would be typecast, potentially derailing a budding acting career. And he had yet to be re-signed for season 2.
3 weeks later, still they're saying no decision. I said, well, I've made my decision, so we released a statement in Daily Variety.
Dunkleman announced he was quitting.
Did I quit before they could fire me? That's possible. My question is, I guess, what were they waiting for? So I don't know is the real answer.
There's this idea around there because of Ryan's success that he pushed you out.
I don't think that's accurate at all. Why would he have the power to do that? We were just 2 co-hosts. He wasn't that, you know, he wasn't who he is now.
Dunkleman was out as the show became a national obsession. Seacrest would use it as a springboard to build a media empire.
I almost wish I had been fired because a few years later it got so huge, then people were like, oh, well, this guy's an idiot.
He was compared to the Beatles' first drummer, Pete Best, who was replaced by Ringo Starr months before the band reached superstardom.
It was mental and emotional torment.
Brian Dunkleman was a broken man.
It was the first thing I thought of when I woke up and the last thing I thought of when I went to bed.
For how many years?
Obsessively, maybe 6.
Worse yet, no one would hire him.
My opportunities went away. That's what I was upset about. I let it get me so down, and I withdrew as a person, and I became bitter.
As the years passed, Dunkleman learned to accept his fate.
At a certain point, you have to just own it. I never accepted giving up because then I thought, I'll just be this guy forever. So long as I'm still trying, there is a possibility to succeed.
Now, 14 years later, he can finally joke about it on stage.
My agent sent me an email saying that this was going to be my year. Unfortunately, he sent me that email in 2002.
So maybe Brian Dunkleman won't ever get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame like Ryan Seacrest. But he's okay with that.
I don't know if I'll ever be at full acceptance, but I'm definitely at resigned acceptance. And regardless of my outcome, I will always be proud of the fact that I got that job and I was part of pop culture history.
The mural outside the Improv honors legendary comedians that performed here.
I'm Brian Dunkleman. I'm a comedian. Right here on this wall is where my face will never be.
Hi, I'm Ryan Seacrest.
And I'm Brian Dunkleman.
And this is the Kodak Theater in Hollywood.
Live on this stage, an unknown talent will be launched into superstardom.
Dunkleman hasn't spoken to Ryan Seacrest in 14 years, but Ryan extended an olive branch in the first episode of this season. There are rumors that Dunkleman might make an appearance in the finale. He says so far no one's approached him, but if asked, he says he'd like to do it.